In 2018, a man disappeared without a trace. No phone signal, no witnesses, no clues, for 3 days. It was like he never existed. But then, he came back, and what he said still doesn't make sense. This is one of those stories that sounds fake, but every detail makes it even more disturbing. Because sometimes, the scariest mysteries aren't about people who disappear, they're about the ones who return. John Miller was an ordinary man. He lived in a quiet neighborhood in the United States. He worked a normal 9-to-5 job, had a routine life, and nothing about him stood out. No enemies, no strange behavior, just normal. On the night of October 12th, everything changed. At around 9:30 p.m., John told his roommate he was stepping out for a walk. It wasn't unusual. He did this often to clear his mind. But that night, he never came back. At first, no one panicked. Maybe he stayed out late. Maybe his phone died. But by morning, there was still no sign of John. His phone went straight to voicemail. No messages, no activity. By the second day, his roommate contacted the police. Search teams were sent out. They checked nearby streets, parks, even surveillance cameras. Nothing. No footage, no sightings, no evidence. It was like John had simply disappeared. Then, on the third day, something strange happened. At exactly 6:47 p.m., John walked back into his apartment, just like that. No injuries, no signs of struggle. He looked completely fine, but something felt off. His roommate immediately noticed it. John wasn't acting like himself. He was quiet. Too quiet. When asked where he had been, he gave only one answer. I don't remember. At first it sounded like confusion, maybe stress, maybe trauma, but the more they spoke to him, the stranger it became. It wasn't just memory loss. It was like he wasn't fully there. Over the next few days, things got worse. John stopped going to work. He barely ate. He avoided people. But the most disturbing thing happened at night. Every single night at exactly 3 a.m. John would wake up. Not slowly, but instantly. He would sit up, then stand, and just stare into the darkness. No movement, no sound, just staring. For hours. One night, his roommate decided to watch him at 3 a.m., just like always. John stood up again. But this time he whispered something. Very quietly. At first, it didn't make sense. But when his roommate got closer, he realized something chilling. John wasn't speaking English. It was a language he'd never heard before. Low, slow, almost mechanical, like someone or something was speaking through him. Concerned, his family took him to doctors. They ran tests, brain scans, psychological evaluations. Everything came back normal. No illness, no trauma, nothing that could explain his behavior. Police reopened the case, but again, they found nothing. No evidence of where he had been. No record of his movements, just 3 missing days. A week later, something even more disturbing happened. John's roommate woke up suddenly in the middle of the night. Not because of a sound, but because of a feeling like someone was watching him. When he opened his eyes, John was standing right next to his bed, staring directly at him, unblinking, silent, and then he smiled. A slow, unnatural smile, and walked away, chilling close. The next morning, John was gone again. This time, forever. No return, no explanation, just another disappearance. But here's the part that still confuses people. If John never remembered those 3 days, then who or what he came back? Some mysteries are never solved, and some are better left that way. Subscribe for more dark stories, because the next one might be even more disturbing.